This morning. So first, before we have our conversation, let's take a look at this clip from the documentary.
How many races are there in South Africa?
There is only one race. The human race.
We are fighting for the noblest cause on earth. The liberation of mankind.
Robert Mangaliswa Sobukwe, a global vision. The only man kept in solitary confinement for 6 solid years.
Brilliant man.
Humanness to the core.
The giant.
An international icon whose passing led to a special session at the UN.
Sobukwe was leading us from Fulo.
There are many other groups in Port Elizabeth, a small group, etc., etc. But the epicenter revolved around Orlando, Sharpeville, and Cape Town.
Thus was introduced the passbook, or Dom Pass, as it was widely known.
The pass laws can aptly be described as a modern form of slavery.
Dikakanyo dintle. Good ideas. Dikakanyo dintle. Robert Sobukwe University, on the outskirts of Kimberley. As we all know, especially those of the older generation, South Africa before 1994 had 4 provinces. So Northern Cape at that time was mixed with Western Cape and Eastern Cape, which was the Cape province. So it only had a university in 2015 when the Sobukwe University was open. That's the only university there. It didn't have any. It only had colleges. So, and according to research, there was one college in the 80s. And then after the 2000s, more were built. And then the Sobukwe University only got open in 2015. It's in the center. It's in the city center of Kimberley. So I think on the outskirts, they can have a huge university named after Robert Sobukwe, because apparently Robert Sobukwe was born in Graaff-Reinet in the Eastern Cape, and then when he was spent, he was in Robben Island, kept in solitary, and then after that, he was taken to Kimberley and was spent there. He stayed there for many years until his death in 1970. So I think it would be great to have Robert Sobukwe, because he even broke the record. During that time, black people could only become teachers, nurses, police, doctors, pastors, soldiers. They didn't have too many options of professions. So he became a lecturer. He outperformed the teachers and became a lecturer. Just like Nelson Mandela and Oliver Tambo became lawyers during apartheid. So I think it would be a great idea to have Robert Sobukwe University on the outskirts of Kimberley, a huge university, which won't be the citizens, will be on the outside to create more employment. It will make Kimberley more popular, because Kimberley has developed a lot since the provinces have separated in 1994.
The pass laws can aptly be described as a modern form of slavery, of forced labor, to make sure that black people are at all times at the beck and call of white people, who then of course control the entire economy.
The careless regard that the system had for black life, simply to stem white supremacy.
The pass itself, the document, the pass, it was the mark of bondage. It was, the equivalent of the branded mark on the face of the slave in the old days of slavery. So that wherever you go, whatever you do, any and everybody could see that here is a person of menial status.
So he prayed a lot. He sacrificed his life. He even got arrested for fighting apartheid. So I know there have been many efforts to revive his memory, to make sure his memory is kept alive. So I think another thing to do would be to have Robert Mangaliswa University in the Northern Cape, in Kimberley, on the outskirts of Kimberley, if possible close to where, because the institute was close enough to the area where he was staying. That's just my opinion.
But a lot of substantial material has come out
Yeah.
to contextualize not only the life of Sobukwe, but the struggles of our people. Because these struggles are contextualized within a certain socio-economic framework. It needed to be.
That's just my opinion. Yeah, but on the outskirts of Kimberley, it would be the only university on the outskirts, was the one it's in the Kimberley CPT. So I think we should consider that. We are not doing anything better. I'm just coming up with more suggestions, because we cannot all be filled in one area. So we have to, more major cities have to develop to accommodate people. Even if it's close to the Kimberley airport, which I've never even seen, it wouldn't hurt, because there's plenty of vacant space there anyway.
What happens when a powerful icon is edited out of history? Where do you go to remember when nothing but a few photographs of him remain? This film is about the search for a voice. The voice of a man many viewed as a father of Pan-Africanism. His name is Mangaliso Robert Sobukwe. His words are rarely captured for posterity. His voice deliberately silenced. Even now, we are shielded from his thoughts and bold philosophy. Today, no film footage or recording of his voice exists. No other political prisoner in South Africa has ever been the subject of a special statute, except for Mangaliso Sobukwe. The Sobukwe clause was...
That's because TV was introduced late, so some of the things were not recorded, that's the thing. But have an investigation. That's just my opinion.
As far as the government of South Africa is concerned, as far as my colleague, the Minister of Police is concerned, as far as the Commissioner of Police and the South African Police Force is concerned, the breakdown of law and order in South Africa will not be tolerated under any circumstances.
And it even mentioned that even he was a lecturer, he was using a train to go to work, coming from Soweto going to Johannesburg instead of using a car. So it shows his humility and humility.
His power over people, his ability to talk to people, to understand people, and to lead people.
He led from the front. Monday, 21st March 1960 was a day masterminded by Sobukwe that changed the course of South African history and focused the world's attention on the brutality of the apartheid regime. From then on, nothing would ever be the same. So,
that's just my opinion. I think it would be a great idea. Where he was spent, make another university there on the outskirts.
Robert Sobukwe was born in 1924 in the then Cape Province. A product of Fort Hare, the University of African Stalwarts, initially interested in teaching, his journey in politics started when he joined the ANC Youth League in 1948 on his second year. Skeptical of the ANC Youth League because he believed its mother body, the ANC, had been compromised. He then started thinking of an alternative for Africans. In 1957, after becoming an editor of the African, around the same time, he started criticizing the ANC. He was firm on his belief that South Africa belonged in the hands of black people. Guided by his Pan-Africanist thinking, he formed the first breakaway party, the PAC, from the ANC in 1958. For his role in the fight against the intolerant apartheid government, Sobukwe was banished in 1960 to Driefontein native farm in VRYBURG district, after being blamed for being at the center of a campaign against apartheid. Sobukwe was arrested and charged with sedition. The police opened fire, killing 69 people and injuring 180 others in what would be known as the Sharpeville Massacre. He was sentenced to 3 years in prison for inciting Africans to demand a repeal of the past laws. Little did he know his arrest would see him spending more time behind bars. Under the Sobukwe clause, a detention without trial. While on Robben Island, Sobukwe was kept in solitary confinement. His living quarters were separated from the main prison. Remembered for his role, Sobukwe
so he did a huge research, so I think it would be a great idea just have Robert Sobukwe University on the outskirts of Kimberley. That's just my idea.